I
Have
agree.
fun.
Hello.
Have fun interacting
Hello.
with the artists.
That's what the thing I just clicked on said. Hello, hello, Joywave Nation. Hi, everybody. We see all your comments
Oh
in
yeah,
here.
here
Oh,
they
they're
come.
flying in. Wow, this is Discord, but even faster.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, so we've all got our headphones in, I assume. Uh, what does everyone in the comments want to do? This is apparently a very open
There's a
form thing.
there's a speaker in the queue currently.
Manage speaker queue. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. Okay, so we can have guests. I see how to do that now. So that's great. Sorry guys, we're learning in real time. Okay, I think the idea of this though is a listening party. So do you guys want to go? We could do it one of two ways. We could either play the whole album and not talk at all, or we could play song by song and me, Joey, and Paul could talk about them a little bit in between, and then we could take some questions for you guys at the end. Song by song. Everyone says song by song. Okay, 100% of people. Someone said no talking. Song by song, song by song,
No
song by.
touching.
Okay.
No
Yep,
touching.
no touching. Um, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go song by song. So maybe we'll talk about the song a little bit before we play it, or should we just play? Maybe we'll do it after. All right.
Man, it
So
would be really funny to just play Destruction.
yeah, we're gonna do switch front to back, everybody. Um, let's see, music playback. Okay, so we're gonna do Joywave presents Permanent Pleasure. I assume if you're here, you are aware that Joywave's new album Permanent Pleasure is out now. But we're gonna start with Graffiti Planet. Here we go. This is Joywave with Graffiti Planet only on the Joywave listening party on Spotify.
Hello.
Yo.
Great. Fantastic. Hi. Uh, welcome back. That was Joywave with Graffiti Planet. Sorry for these weird silences and pauses. We're in beta here at the listening party. Um, yeah, I saw someone ask, uh, "What's with the cat?" which I think is a fantastic question. And we did some interviews for the record earlier today, and somebody said, "What's the deal with the cat? Are you guys just really big cat guys, or what?" Basically, uh, not to be a bummer here for a second, but uh, being a person right now turns out is a lot. And never before have you been able to experience all of the bad things in the world all the time on repeat. And it's exhausting. And sometimes I think we are presented with the idea that we have to care about these things all the time and experience them all the time at full throttle, especially if you are an empathetic person or a person who thinks a lot. And I think that can be really unhealthy. And I know I, in the past few years, have felt like, why do I feel so awful today? What, and I can trace it back to something that an algorithm presented me with of like, hey, did you know this terrible thing exists? And that can be a lot. And I remember in those moments looking over and seeing my cat laid in a sunbeam completely unaware. And it was this beautiful Zen oblivion. And I think people should engage with these things, but it's okay to be the cat sometimes as well, I think. And it's probably healthy. Not all the time, but sometimes. And Graffiti Planet is kind of a reminder that we are all temporary, and all the things that we do in this world will, or the things that we work to undo, right? Uh, will be done and undone by the people who come after us, and none of the changes that we make are permanent. The whole world is a legal graffiti wall. Anyway, uh, Paul, Joey, how we doing?
That was extremely well said, Dan. Really, really
Oh,
good.
thank you, Paul. What did you think of what I just said?
It sounded great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I lost the music. I had to refresh a few times there.
You know what? Your drumming was getting compliments in there. I saw some people saying, "Wow, Paul, the drums really bang in this one."
It's
Is
just
is
a
what it.
it's just a shame because I didn't get to hear it.
Well, for those who don't know, Paul sings there in the last chorus, which is the first time he sang on a Joywave record, and I guess he doesn't know how upfront his voice was, and everyone else knows because we changed the mix basically Thursday to put Paul way up front, and he hasn't heard that yet. So, Paul, it sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
Um, should we move on? We'll take questions at the end. I think we'll just kind of talk a bunch and questions at the end. So back to music playback here. Spotify says, "What do you want to play?" We're gonna go with the album "Permanent Pleasure" by Joywave again, if that's okay with everyone. And
What happened to? Oh, never mind. Joey. Yeah, it's Charlie.
What are you talking about? All
do
right,
you
He
do you
got.
what's next
He's
on the
been.
playlist?
He's been hacked. He's been hacked by Bastille.
All right, the next song is a song called "Scared," and this is a song that I wish existed when I was a teenager because the only songs that I ever remember existing from the male perspective were full of bravado and toxic masculinity, and I think that's not everyone's experience, and it certainly wasn't mine. So I wanted to correct the balance in the world in one foul swoop, and boy, did I do it. Here's Scared. If we're back, type "We are back" in the chat for me right now. We are back.
And we're
Great.
back.
And we're back. Fantastic. Joey, talk about the guitar.
Well, as I mentioned before, it took a long time to get it just right. And I actually don't remember, did we end up mixing me and you playing at the same time, or was I
Mm-hmm.
okay? Needed that.
Because you are too good at the guitar and I am too bad at the guitar. So
Well,
all the bad dead notes are me, but mixed together, it's a nice rough around the edges sort of sound.
with any masterpiece, it's all about feeling, you know. You gotta capture the feeling. And
That's right. And one of us knows where all four beats lie, and some of us are always searching.
honestly, it was worth the extra time, I think, because I think it would have sounded way different if we just settled. But we were picky, and I'm glad we were.
I think that's right. And there is a fun story. I saw the email blast. Someone sent me a screenshot of it that went out, and it promised behind the scenes stories of the making of the album, which we thought, well, that is a big promise, and we didn't agree to that. But in this particular case, many years ago, some of you guys may have seen this tour, but we went on tour with a band called Foals and Silver Sun Pickups, and we got to spend a lot of time with the Foles guys. And Yanis told me that if I ever saw a Selmer amp with crocodile skin on the outside, to buy it immediately. And this is a British amp that does not exist in the United States. I think it's a Zodiac, I think is the name of it. And when we were on the road I think we were on the Express Wash tour in Nashville. There's a guitar shop down the street called Carter Vintage Music, And I walked in there, and for the first time in my life, saw a Selmer amp with crocodile skin staring back at me. And some people on here probably know that there's a difference in power from the UK to the United States, and guitar amps made for the UK don't work in the United States without modifying the power. So I asked the person at the shop if this one was modified for the US, and he said, "I'm so sorry, it is," which means it's not original, but also means I can use it. And we bought it instantly and brought it home. And I think honestly, the lead guitar part of Scared is the only spot on the record that we ended up using it, but it's a great amp, and it's really fun that it's very, very out front. So yeah, that's the UK's contribution to the new Joywave album. Paul, what did you think when you were listening back there?
Well, you know, I got the song by the end there. I don't know what's going
You
on,
did.
but yeah,
Wow. Okay, great.
I caught the last 5 seconds.
Good. That's a
Sounded
good
great.
spot. Good.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna get into the next song here, which is I'm sorry, there's like no flow. There's no flow to this. The songs are made to go together, and now we're breaking them up. So this next one is called Brain Damage, and I think it re-engages with one of the central themes of the record here. It's kind of this therapy on the couch scene, but you think of uh, how a lot of the things we feel that are related to depression or anxiety are external things that we cannot control, and sometimes uh, people are treated as though they are sick or something is wrong with them. And I think in a lot of cases, it's just the byproduct of being a person alive today. And tough time to be a person, people. This song is called Brain Damage. Let's party.
Really, really brought the heat with that one.
If we're back, type. We are definitely back in the comments. We are definitely
Oh,
okay. Great. Yeah.
we're back.
Oh, we're back. Fantastic. The origins of that song, I should say too, and the reason I named the file Brain Damage, which stuck. I had COVID and I felt terrible and I couldn't think straight. And I was like, some people do drugs to make unique things, and I would like to make something on the Omicron variant where people forever are trying to go back to that variant so they can think how I was thinking when I made Brain Damage. And now that variant of Omicron's actually gone and you can't get it. It's out of print. And it fucked me up for like 6 months. Like my vision was blurry at night and I had headaches, and it was terrible. And I thought it was never going to end, and it did. And I'm okay now. But you know, was it worth it? I don't know. That's the song. We definitely broke probably some musical rules in that one. At one point when the song came out, somebody asked if we could play the song acoustic, which I thought was the most absurd request of all time, since the song is one note for like the whole thing. I was like, do you want us to come in with an acoustic guitar and just play the one note the entire time? And the strings really arrive on this song too, which is another thing we had in Rochester. Some of the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra people played on the record, which is awesome because we've never been able to have live strings. And the trombone in the chorus is played by our high school band teacher. We all were in symphonic band in high school together, and it was amazing to have him come over and record with us. It was kind of intimidating. Joey, what did you think?
It was definitely intimidating because I had to notate it for him. Really just flew on the seat of my pants on that one. And as he was looking at the sheet music, I said, Mr. Green, what's that first note on there? And he screamed into the microphone, B flat. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to distort speakers, but just imagine someone you admire and, who has inspired you screaming B flat 20 years after you graduated, you think to yourself, wow, maybe I have a lot to learn still.
It was I was curious what he was gonna think of, like the riff kind of, because it's so just like us and shit falling downstairs
Yes.
chromatically.
Yeah, I
And
thought for sure he was going
it's
to be like,
funny.
are there any more notes to the song?
Yeah, yeah, certainly there must be more notes here because it's just one and then shit falling downstairs. And he's like, it's a cool riff. I was like, oh, okay, good, good. Um, B flat. Paul, do you have any thoughts on brain damage?
It's one of my favorites on the album. I love Brain Damage. As far as Mr. Green coming over, I remember the first thing he said to us was, "Call me Jeff, not Mr. Green."
And here we are calling him Mr. Green.
Yeah, because he's still
Yeah.
our teacher. It's weird.
Your mom does that too. She says, "Call me Linda," and I still call her Mrs. Brenner. Just one of those things, you know.
We're just
Growing up.
polite.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna move. We're gonna move on now, if that's okay with everybody.
I can't. I can't wait for the music to cut out as soon as you start playing it.
Okay, this next song is called "He's Back," and I don't really want to say anything about it because I want people to experience it in the way it was meant to be experienced. In that you press play on a song, it's called "He's Back," and you don't have any other information. Here you go.
I think we're back. Are we back? We may be back.
We might be back.
Sure.
Seeing no one is writing Olive Garden though. Write Olive Garden in the comments so I know that we're back. Olive Garden. Okay, great. Fantastic. This is one of my favorites on the record. It's fun and absurd and so impossibly American. My family growing up was religious and my parents took me to church growing up, and the past few years, the past 20 years maybe in this country, you've seen things change to the point where uh, Christianity has become like unrecognizable to the stories uh, that I learned growing up. Um, like there's this whole like Jesus the warrior movement of like he's here to own the libs, and boy is he gonna uh, teach Joe Biden a lesson when he gets here. Like it's like unbelievable, and uh, I wanted those people who had Trump Jesus signs at the Capitol to feel like they had their own song that just gave them exactly what they wanted. So that is a song for Red State Jesus, and now he has his own anthem, and I don't think that he's the same one that is supposed to be in the religion, but it's kind of gone that way. The Olive Garden lyric is my absolute favorite one, and I saw some people saying, "Does anyone understand that?" Yeah, that's the fish and the loaves miracle, you know, uh, commercialized. I figured if he was back, the Olive Garden would probably run a special. So, and also the Capitol storming people apparently had dinner at the Olive Garden after the storming, so that's comforting. You can just go out to dinner after you do that. Anyway, fun one. I guess sad one, satire one. So sad that it's funny, which I think is important because sometimes all you can do is laugh. Anyway, Joey, how about the guitar on that one? Paul, how about the drums on that one? What did you guys feel listening back?
About
I don't know if you remember how long it took to come up with the ending to that song. Do you? It was a long time. We had like 4 or 5 different ways we tried to end it, and each one was a little more out of our minds than the last.
Was that,
With
or was that the? I think you're thinking of. Did we?
go on.
Is that the?
Yeah, it was that one because I remember that tone
Okay.
we used to go back into the chorus. We used on an ending to the song that it was too much. It was just too much. And we were like, we're out of our minds. Let's take a step back. And I do like where we ended up with it.
I
Yeah,
love
me too.
Joey. I love your guitar work on this
Dude,
song.
thank you so
Me
fucking
too.
much.
Me too, Joey. You crushed it.
Well,
That one features none of me on the guitar because it's all good guitar playing.
had you guys behind me, so
Moving on. We got Sleepytime Fantasy next, which a couple people were talking about the Brain Damage picture disc vinyl in the chat here. Sleepytime Fantasy was a secret B-side on that, so some of you guys who got the vinyl heard this early, but now it's out for everybody. Hope that you enjoy Sleepytime Fantasy, and if you haven't heard the song, just remember it's nice and relaxing, and feel free to turn it up as loud as you want. Here it is, Sleepytime Fantasy.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you.
I can. Yeah. And we're back. Fantastic. That was Sleepytime Fantasy. That is being in the beam as much as you possibly can be and ignoring everything else. And there's also, some societal commentary in there and also just the you never know when tragedy is kind of waiting around the corner for you. I had a horrible experience where I was sitting and I had tweeted something that uh, somebody didn't like, and I was like trying to clarify something about it, and my girlfriend started screaming upstairs, and I went upstairs to see what happened, and our cat had a heart attack and died on the floor in the middle of our house. It was horrible. It's like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And I had been concerned about something else that didn't fucking matter and was not real and was on the internet. And I was just crushed. Not only that it happened, but just how fast it happened and like where my head was at in like the 30 seconds before. Um, but those things are always there. Like you never know when the phone is going to ring and when you're having a nice day and the big hits happen. And the same thing kind of uh, in the US and what our society has failed to do with any amount of gun control. And if you guys haven't seen the Like a Kennedy music video, it hits on similar points. The song doesn't, but the video itself does. But anyway, that's a really scary one that you stay in the beam as much as you can, but sometimes the darkness leaks in. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be a party. It says Party. But back to parties.
Did you
I
just
think
make
we
a
got another
mask
song.
joke?
A mask joke?
Jim Carrey's The Mask.
I've never
Party because I gotta.
No, I've never seen that movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird.
I wasn't allowed to. That happens in The Mask
Yeah, that's like really weird. You haven't seen that movie, actually.
because I wasn't allowed to. What am I
I've
supposed to
known
do?
you for like 25 years, and you haven't seen
Hang
The
on,
Mask.
am I supposed to ask my parents for permission now? Like I feel like
Yes,
they made it clear.
absolutely.
No, I feel like they made it clear that I wasn't allowed to, and I'm done asking.
You should ask.
I'll see what I can do.
It's like one of the best Jim Carrey movies.
Is it
Okay.
funny? or is it
It's
scary?
hilarious. Yeah, based on a comic book. Fun fact: most people don't know that the mask is based on a comic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, next up we have "Swimming in the Glow," which I love this one too. And this is kind of a side of the band that I think people who have been with us since the days that we were playing locally in Rochester and people who've heard Coda Vista know is there and in the DNA. But when we were picking songs to do for this record, we were thinking we kind of like haven't let this side of the band really show itself in a while. And lyrically, I wanted to tap into the times when me, Paul, and Joey would go to Wegmans late at night and buy Snapple and go to the Wendy's drive-through, and we made music and wanted to travel and do it for a living, but it wasn't our reality yet. And the feeling of being ready to go and ready to explore the world and bring your music to more people, but the opportunity hasn't presented itself yet. So it's longing and waiting, I suppose. And for us, it's kind of about making art. And but I think for everyone, there's probably a bit of wasting away in the suburbs to it. So we hope that you enjoy "Swimming in the Glow."
Is this thing on?
Hey,
Yes, Charlie.
great. Back, "Swimming in the Glow." Um, Paul, Joey, you guys have anything else to say about that one, or do you want to move on?
All I have to really say is I cannot wait to play that one live. That one in the set is going to be. I can't wait.
It's gonna be fun.
Agreed. Yeah.
And
People have asked me already, like, which one I'm looking forward to the most playing, and it's definitely this one.
Yeah, I don't think it's even close.
it's up there. For people who don't know, we announced our Permanent Pleasure World Tour, the 2024 dates, late last week. North America is September 11th to October 14th, and then UK and EU is October 30th to November 14th or 15th. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. I know in our Spotify wrapped video for last year, we said, we were hoping to come to Australia. We're still hoping to do that for 2025. So keep your fingers crossed. This next one, "Hate to Be a Bother." Love this one. And this is the first Joywave song to have the word fuck in it.
Fuck.
Yeah. So if you have young ears and you don't want them to hear that word, this is your warning, even though I just said it. Normally, I feel like using that word in a song is kind of a cop out, uh, and it's like an attempt to be edgy that really isn't all that edgy. But with this song, that was kind of the lyric that it started with, and there was nothing else that did the work that fuck did. And I loved the politeness of, "I hate to be a bother, but," with "could you leave me the fuck alone?" And ultimately, I deemed it to be a good use of the word fuck, and hope that you agree and enjoy it. Here it is. "Hate to Be a Bother." Oh, can you guys hear me? Can people hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear.
you can hear me. Oh, okay, great. Someone said, "Is there an intentional?" Who's who's not using headphones? Whoever's not using headphones right now. There we go. Okay. Uh, Someone said, "Is there an intentional transition between 'Hate to Be a Bother' and 787 Dreamliner?" And I say, yes, there is. It slows down and pitches down to it. It's nice. Real fun. I think we can jump right in unless you guys have anything else to
Yeah,
say.
really quick before we do jump right in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, what will happen is Dan will send me an idea and be like, "See if you can hash out something on the guitar for this thing on top that I just came up with," and I'll say, "Okay, sure." And that bridge, the guitar, is Dan's original idea because it was so good and just essentially just shat out on the guitar. And I tried and tried and tried, but every time I kept coming back to what he originally just sent me. That is the most authentic Dan guitar you will ever hear. And it did not change at all from your original like voice note that you just like recorded real quick because it was so I re-recorded it, but I played it exactly how you played it because it was that
Yeah,
good.
you played the flub that I did too. I
Yep.
played the wrong fret. And
Yep.
when we were tracking, I was like, I remember saying, "Are you gonna get that part?" And you were like, "No, no, I'm doing it on purpose,"
Yeah.
because I thought you kept flubbing it, and I was like, "No, no, I know it's a tough part. Like I was flubbing it too." You're like, "No, no, that's staying," which is fun. Um, all right. Next up, we've got 787 Dreamliner. Shout out Boeing. Uh, Correct. That was absolutely a propeller plane at the end, which a 787 does not have. But it was flying over my head, and I recorded it, so it's in there.
Yeah, that's a plane flying over the studio, and it's just the mics picking it up from inside.
It's not.
You went outside?
Yeah, I went outside.
Oh, you're
It's
such a loser. You walked outside with a microphone?
no, that's a voice memo.
Oh,
Um,
well, an iPhone is a microphone.
that's right, it is. Someone said, "What is the song about?" It's kind of about the journey that we're on, and we're still going, and that's some of the perspective of Record 5 and Permanent Pleasure. Also, is this Joywave has become permanent pleasure. I mean, this is we have done all the things we set out to do, and then some. Um, Also, I hate flying, and I thought it would be. So does Joey. Maybe a nice song about flying that we all liked would make us feel better about it. I don't know if it did, but the proper way to listen to that song is certainly at 30 to 35,000 feet.
Flying
One
is
other
like
little,
bottom three things for me,
yeah, yeah,
without a doubt.
yeah. Um, the three missing lives. Yeah, you've correctly identified that a cat has 9 lives, and I think I'm probably through about three. Um, and I also every time we are in the country of France, uh, you'll notice there's no dates in France on the tour. Uh, we do very poorly there, and every time we're there, somebody tells us that one of the reasons is that you have to have lyrics in French to be for them to play your song anywhere in France. And I know there's like time requirements to that, but I thought that putting Non Merci in the song was so unbelievably funny. And next time I go there, I'm gonna go, guys, it's in French. I don't know how were you not able to play this song here? Um, but I loved that idea. So that's in there. Yeah, it's definitely a light shenanigan. It's it's art and also shenanigan, which that is my favorite is when you can do both at the same time. It's a French song, really. Yes, I agree. Um, cool.
One of
So
my favorites on the album, Dreamliner.
I think me too. I That one always feels really good. Um, so moving along here, I have to type in the album name every time. They'll fix that when it's not in beta. Um, Splendor. This is one of the only Joywave songs about class. Um, we're all from the suburbs of Rochester, but the further we've traveled outside of there, we all just kind of have like, I don't know, regular middle class backgrounds, but we've ended up in some rooms where I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Uh, uh, and I'm like, oh, apparently I've never met a rich person. Um, and sometimes it can be pretty stunning, and you can be like, why am I here? Or I'm not supposed to be here. it is a parallel dimension. Correct. So this is kind of a song about that. Notes on the flute. That's my middle school flute knowledge and abilities, which aren't very good, but they're good enough to make a sound and then edit. Joey, what do you have?
So, okay. Paul's right. He has never played the drum softer in his life, but in order to get there, we had to paint a visual picture for him. He's a very
What am I?
let me
He's a-
articulate this.
No, please
Well-
proceed.
Paul is his natural tendency, as actually with my son who just started drums, the minute he sits down, rock song, which is like the tendency for most drummers. Paul was never we never really had to play soft up until this point. And when Paul was tracking, we would be like softer, and then he'd do another take, and we'd be like softer, and we'd do another take and be like softer. And then at one point I went, Paul, imagine someone is standing behind your mother with a baseball bat, and if you go above a certain dB, disaster is going to strike. And he played that so soft and so subtle and so
Paul's
perfect.
a family man. Paul's a family man at his core.
And he nailed it.
Yeah, you did great.
Soft, just like someone's about to murder my mother.
Yeah.
We have fun. Okay. Well, there's only one song left. This song is, as you may have gathered from the title, it's direct to camera. A couple of years ago, we played on Stephen Colbert's late night show, and when I was in my late teens and early 20s, I worked at Staples in retail, and I was like, this is terrible and miserable, and my life is not going how I thought it was going to go, and I'm supposed to be making music, not stocking shelves, which is what I told myself while I walked in circles and avoided managers and doing real work. But when I would get home from Staples, I would sit and watch the Colbert Report at the time, and it would make me laugh. And I was like, this is amazing, and it would make me feel better. And getting to finally play that show, and I was inside the TV for the first time in my life. And I mean, we had done other late night shows, but I was like, this is a moment where my younger self would be very, very proud, and I wish he could have seen it. So this is the last song on the record. It's called Here to Perform, the final song from their album Permanent Pleasure. Please welcome Joywave.
Well,
That ending is not Paul on the piano, although it certainly could be. It's a sample from the same record as the opening sequence with Mayor Tom Ryan. Someone at the record label, when we turned in the record, asked me a question about the singing mayor, combining the two clips into one thing. And I was like, I don't know if you remember, but it's actually, the mayor doesn't sing. Although it's fun to envision it that way. Those are taken from a record called the Rochester Sesquicentennial that I found at a thrift store, I guess mid-pandemic or end of the pandemic. It was still in the shrink wrap, and it was like $2 at Goodwill. And I said I should own this, and got it home, put it on, listened through, and it was recorded in 1984, and it is all songs about Rochester written from maybe like the 1830s or 1840s on. And yeah, the intro is Tom Ryan, who was the mayor of Rochester in 1984. And then that ending, we did some research, and the guy who, it was recorded, like I said, in 1984, but the song was written in the early 1900s. And there was a guy who was a songwriter and he would go town to town, and he was trying to make a hit song. And he said, I bet Rochester, New York doesn't have anything going on. And he came here and wrote that song, and nobody liked it. And then he moved on to the next town. And it was kind of forgotten by history, but it was recorded for, this album in 1984. Anyway, that's Permanent Pleasure by Joywave. Thank you guys for listening. I guess we can take some questions, or at least a few questions here. Things to remember, like I said, the tour is coming up, North America, September 11th to October 14th, and Europe and UK, end of October through middle of November. The record does exist on vinyl. There's a store thing next to you. And if you haven't seen what the record looks like, you can't really see it there, but it's extremely cool. You can see it on our Instagram. I posted a little walkthrough earlier, but there's a cat figurine that sits on your record player, and it's like this pop-out room. It's really, really crazy. And for people who ordered already, thank you so much. And we're running a little behind on filling the orders. Some of you guys who are very invested in the band probably know that we've taken back our merch operation because our old merch company went bankrupt end of last year. It was a nightmare. It was a whole thing. I don't want to get into it, but now we're running things ourselves. So appreciate the patience with that. We've got people in the speaker queue. If you want to talk to us, get in there and I'll pick a couple. I'm going to start with Adrienne, because she's been in here for a while. Request sent. Let's see if that worked.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
How are you?
Hey, this is amazing. I'm having a true fan moment. This is great. I've been enjoying the show with our own permanent pleasures surrounding us, all 5 of them, and one that lives on the porch. So
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's been it's been really great. Sorry, I'm having a fan moment.
No, you're good. You're good. Do you have a question?
I do. When you're writing songs, does it start off with a piano riff or a lyric, or how do you start your songs?
Great question. I guess they're all different. I mean, we've been working on music together since we were teenagers. So I think when we were younger, it was more, hey, here's something on a guitar, and then everybody add to it. And as time has gone on, it's definitely, I don't know. It starts in any number of ways. I guess it's different every time, but usually we end up doing a demo of a song. I'll demo something into the computer and send it to Paul and Joey, and then they'll add their little flares of making it good instead of bad. So
That's awesome.
Thank you for hopping on with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm going to see you guys 2 different times in North Carolina, and we're going to Europe to see you. We can't wait.
Wow, awesome.
Wow.
That's amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
Awesome.
We'll be there.
All right, we'll see you there. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Back to the pile. Get in this pile if you have a question. We're going to go. Guy without a beanie.
Hello?
Hello.
Good to be here. Ben, a bit nervous right now, and I've got 2 questions and
Hello, you're on
comment.
the air.
Oh,
Guy without a beanie, you're on the air. Can you hear us?
What, Joey? Are you?
Hello?
Yeah, no, I can hear him. You can't hear him, Joe?
oh, okay.
Joey's in a helicopter. There's
No, you're trying to get into my mind. I'm so nervous right now.
Guy without a beanie, you are good.
I think we lost
You
him.
are good
Okay.
to go. No,
Okay.
ignore Joey. Joey's listening to something else. If Joey talks right now, do not listen to him. Ask your question. And
All right. Okay.
Guy without a beanie.
I won't let him get to me. I swear. But 2 questions. Number 1, out of curiosity, which is your personal, like each of the 3 of y'all, which is your personal favorite song in the album? Because my personally is Dreamliner.
That's a great pick. Mine changes depending on time of day.
Fair.
Sometimes it's He's Back, sometimes it's Scared, sometimes it's Hate to Be Bothered, sometimes it's Graffiti Planet, sometimes it's, I'm just going to list all the songs. So I think this record is very eclectic. Like Cleanse was very consistent all the way through, and then this one we've kind of like blown things apart again, where it's not as all over as the first record because we're like so much better at writing songs and
Yes, of
producing now
course. Yeah.
than we were then. But there's a lot of things stylistically happening, so it's fun and different things serve different moods. Paul, how about you?
My favorites on the record are Swimming in the Glow and Dreamliner, just to listen to as a listener. Also, Guy Without a Beanie.
Yeah.
That's an incredible avatar photo.
Thank
It
you
is
very
really
much.
good. Joey, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but this froze, so I had to refresh it. So I missed the Guy Without a Beanie's question.
Okay, it was amazing. You would have loved it. You were saying Guy Without a Beanie. We've lost you over his question. It was really fantastic. He's
I think we've
asking
lost
what
him.
He was asking what your favorite song on the record is.
Okay, it changes every time I listen to it, but this last party listen through, I'd go Swimming in the Glow because everyone seemed to really enjoy that one, and I love seeing everyone's reaction to it.
Okay. All right, Guy Without a Beanie, part 2. You're the only
Part
person
2.
getting 2 questions today. Next person says they have 2 questions.
Okay, I'm sorry. But a bit of an ambitious question, but could we expect to see another album this year, if not from Joywave or Best Friends?
No.
No.
Yeah, 100% no. I've had no time for music. The amount of time that everything else is taking. There's a whole short film coming too with the album, which some people might know about and some people don't. But that has been a whole thing to get done, and hopefully we premiered it in Rochester the other night, but hopefully that'll be out for a wider audience in the coming weeks.
Completely fair. I completely expected, again, ambitious question.
we just played that one. Play record 6 now.
Oh no, trust me. After this, I'm going to the gym. Just gonna have that. I already had it on repeat since it came out. I've been having it on repeat.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me. Big fan, helping me get through high school right now. At the end, thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for saying hey.
Thank you for picking me out.
Goodbye. Of course. Goodbye, Guy Without a Beanie. Removed.
Yo, I loved Guy Without a Beanie. Truly loved him. But that's so funny. Like asking when the next album is after we just did a listening party.
The one from Friday.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, okay, soon.
I think
soon, man.
Guys, I want everyone to know right now that when we started recording this new record, Paul's first reaction was, he said, I mean, we just put out a record and we recorded Cleanse in like 2020. There was like a 2.5 year gap. He's like, I was just drumming on records.
I was told there'd be some time off. Yeah.
Someone said, wait, it was that long. Yeah. Cleanse came out in early 2022, but we recorded that in mid 2020 to end of 2020 because we didn't have anything to do. We're going with Lydia. Please welcome Lydia to the stage. Lydia, you're on the air.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Well, Joey, can you hear Lydia?
I can hear Lydia just fine.
Okay, great.
Hi. So I have also a couple questions. One's really short and the other one's like, well, actually they're both pretty short. One of them is there like, this is super random. while recording the album, did you guys have like a favorite snack? Like, because I'm pretty sure that's like, I don't know, when I'm like really busy and focused with something, I like to just have something to munch on. So that's my question.
No, we didn't have any snacks like at all.
What?
Well, that's not true. That's not true at all.
No,
Okay, go ahead, Mo.
we didn't eat while we're recording. Get like
I
chip dust all
always,
over the
Disgusting.
guitars.
I
You get
always
Cheeto dust
brought,
on your strings.
I always brought those little Belvita breakfast sandwich crackers things.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
the coconut flavored ones. They're great.
I didn't eat at all while we were the whole time. I took a break from food the months we were recording. No, I mean we got lunch every day, and that was a big thing. Was deciding where we were going to go to lunch. One of the interviews I did today, they said the person said, "What were some of the obstacles you faced when recording this album?" and I said, "Choosing lunch." We all had decision fatigue towards the end and trying to agree on a restaurant. But we did it. We did
The
it.
lunch
We
breaks.
overcame.
The lunch breaks were always the best parts.
People love lunch. They love the lunch break. Lydia, what's your second and longer question?
It's actually not that long. I'm just realizing. But okay, so besides Rochester, what's your favorite city to play in, and why is it LA? No, I'm kidding. Which one's your favorite?
Man, who wants to go first?
Okay, I am lactose intolerant, and I like cities where the server apologizes to me at the restaurant when I say, "Just so you know, I'm lactose intolerant." They say, "Oh my God, that must be so difficult for you." So like, Portland is really great. Denver's pretty good. Austin is pretty good. Places like that, and that
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah,
Seattle's my favorite.
That makes some of the EU and UK stuff harder because sometimes you tell someone your dietary restrictions and they don't want to hear it. So when we're in France, for example, I bring kind bars from the United States and I eat those until we've left French territory.
Makes sense.
Thank you for your question, Lydia.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much. Start screaming because I'm clicking remove listener from stage now. Okay, Lydia has been terminated. Who do we got? We're looking through. Welcome to the stage,
Hello? Am I here?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're here. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, this is amazing. Okay, my name is Madison. I was curious, more of an unserious question. You guys are so goofy and just super satire online. Is that on purpose to make your music more intense?
I don't know. I think that it's just who we are, and I feel like you have to have fun yourself and keep yourself entertained. And we are lucky that when we are entertaining ourselves, at least some other people are also entertained.
Yeah, I would say it's certainly not like a method to make our music any more intense or anything like that. It's just we're human beings and this is who we are.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Your guys' tweets make my day every time, for sure.
Oh, amazing. Thank you
my
so
favorite
much.
people on the internet.
We try.
End of questions. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you in Omaha again.
Oh, we'll see you in Omaha. Slowdown's great. Omaha's a great city. That should have been on my list. Thanks for saying hey. We'll see you there.
See you guys.
Removing listener from the stage.
Neutralized.
Got it. Who do we got? Oh, this is okay. Please welcome the Deadly Robot.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
What's up?
Hey, I'm doing good. So I guess while we have people doing two questions, I got a couple for you.
Oh
I'm
my
in.
God! People
I
with the
know.
multiple. There's no wishing for more wishes.
I'll put
Fine, do
a
your
tip in
two.
the tip
No.
jar in Dallas
Okay. All right.
for
All
my
right. All
extra
right.
question. Uh, so what made y'all want to pick? So I'm in Dallas, obviously. What made y'all want to pick the barbecue venue that you guys have here in Dallas? Is it because it looked interesting, or it was like the only one that you guys had available?
Oh, that's a great question. I have no idea where we're playing in Dallas.
So
Tell us about it.
I've never heard of the venue, but it looks really interesting. So I would definitely they have a Ferris wheelers. Yeah,
What?
there you go. There's a Ferris wheel right next to the not next to the stage, but kind of like toward the back of the audience. And I don't know if that Ferris wheel like goes during the show, but it's gonna be a barbecue laden Ferris wheel in time, and I just wanted to know if that was intentional or not.
Wow.
Uh,
No. And our manager's in the comments right now and says it was recommended by the promoter, but I'm excited that there's a Ferris wheel.
yeah,
I'm
I
definitely
think
afraid of heights, but
you guys are gonna get some good. I always like y'all's like kind of behind the scenes videos that you guys post uh during each show, so I think you guys are gonna get some good footage at that venue for sure.
we should probably just have him film from the Ferris wheel the whole day, right? Just send him around and around and around.
I'm not
Yeah.
going on that thing.
No, have DZ go on it.
Oh,
Um,
Paul would go on the Ferris wheel. I just don't like heights. I'm sure it's great.
Ferris wheel sounds way too slow for my taste.
It's also a tiny. It's not so. There's a big Ferris wheel. It might be the one of the biggest Ferris wheels in America, but there's a big Ferris wheel at the state fair here in Texas. Uh, it's not quite that big. It's like maybe 2 stories tall. It's like a little tiny guy Ferris wheel.
Okay.
Like
I'll
the
tell you
baby,
what.
like
Cool.
it's like the baby's Ferris wheel at like a Six Flags.
I cannot wait for the food in Dallas. Paul, you can go on the Ferris wheel. I'm gonna go get insane food.
That
Yeah,
sounds
Uh,
where did we get the barbecue from, Joe?
Terry Black's.
Terry
Yeah.
Black's is great. I mean, the venue you're playing is a barbecue restaurant as well. I don't know what the
Okay.
quality of the barbecue is there, but Terry Black's is fantastic.
Okay.
so.
Okay,
This
well,
this is what we're gonna show up at this show, and it's what, some sort of carnival, or like it's just gonna be like a
The
like where.
stage is the dunk tank.
Yeah. Where's the stage? Final Tap situation. Totally.
And then, sorry, while I'm on that, if you guys want a good burger while you're in Dallas, go to Rodeo Goat. It's like right next to the venue. So if the barbecue doesn't really do it for you, there's a burger place called Rodeo Goat that is fantastic if you like burgers. So just a
Noted.
heads
okay,
up.
awesome.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
We'll check
absolutely.
that out. What's question number 2?
Question number 2. I know Paul is a big gamer, from what I gather from the behind the scenes stuff. I wanted to know kind of what video games, if all three of you play, kind of what you're playing right now and what you're enjoying.
Wow, what a thoughtful, great question. At this moment, I happen to be playing Nintendo Switch just released a remastered version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Rogue in like a combo pack for like $20 or something like that, maybe even less. It was on sale. So I got both those because I love those games. So I've been having fun playing through those. But for the most part, I play Helldivers 2. I do Fortnite occasionally. Marvel's Midnight Suns is a fun one. I'm all over the place. What do you play?
Oh man, didn't think it was gonna come back to me. I don't know. I play a lot of city building games. There's one on PC called RimWorld. It's like a colony sim game. It's really cool. Very into that game. I just got Ghost of Tsushima on the PC as well, so that's been fun to play through. And
Okay, see, I'm a console guy. I'm PS5.
yeah. Oh well, if it ever comes to the platform, I've also been playing Valheim, which is like a Viking kind of open world survival game, and that one's really really good.
That sounds
Um, so yeah,
very
I would
cool.
recommend those.
And what kind of car do you drive?
Oh, I drive a Volkswagen Golf.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's got a
Awesome.
Clean sticker on the back. It's awesome.
Nice.
Amazing. All right, Deadly Robot, thank you. We'll see you in Dallas on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah. See y'all. Thank you.
Later, thank you. All right, we want to do 2 more? How about 2 more? How's that sound, Paul and Joe?
Great.
Great.
Okay. We're going to do this one right here because there's a cute little kitty. Please welcome to the stage, Bree Afraid.
Oh my god, hi.
Hi.
This is crazy. Yeah, no, that's my cat Norman. I was like, it's appropriate for the
Wow,
the
Norman?
listening party. Yeah, Norman. As in
Wow.
Osborne, because I'm a nerd.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Paul's web shooter tattoos are glowing right now.
well, this is so unrelated, and I'm not going to pull out 2 questions, but I'm going to say, Paul, when are you streaming on Twitch again? I miss that era so much, first off. But the actual question I'm going to ask is, like, as a creative, the pandemic has, like, affected a lot of creative people very differently, obviously. But I was wondering, like, how it affected, changed, or modified, like, your guys's creative styles, whether that's like making songs or even just performing, like how the pandemic has affected what your guys' like your work and all that.
I think so. It was kind of nice for me creatively because normally we're making things and we have to get up and go on tour and we're away from the studio and all that. I got to like just kind of work on music for a couple of years. You know, I got to do Best Friends, the side project I did. I got to work on a song for K-Flay. I got to work on some stuff with Paris, like I guess post-pandemic, but I don't know how. I got to work on 2 songs with Dallin, so it was nice for me in that it was kind of just unfiltered creativity. I think it's been though kind of like in sports when there's a lockout where they like lose a season and people come back or don't come back from there. Like a lot of the bands that were around with us when we were coming up, I think kind of aren't around and kind of haven't come back, and the cost of touring has like gone way up, and it's harder for like it's hard enough for us to tour at the level that we're at, but like the levels below are just like some of the tours that we did when we were first coming up in like 2014 would not be possible. I think today it's crazy. So it really I don't know. The pandemic was a crazy time for music, and I guess these things change all the time, right? And it's constantly evolving and changing, but it was like a forced evolution, I guess. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think like the idea of collaboration throughout the pandemic is something super interesting that like I experienced as a creative, and I'm you know, obviously as you mentioned. So I love that. That was a great answer. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Of course, yeah.
Thanks for
Well,
tuning in.
as far as the beginning portion of my streaming, I will say real quick, it's a lot of fun, but it gave me like a lot of anxiety, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like I love you know, sharing my screen with people, but part of video games is like you know, it's like private time. It's like one of my favorite things to do when I'm alone. So
Yeah.
like plugging in and broadcasting it, it's like, I know that makes me sound old, but it's
No,
just
that's
really
so
not
real.
how I ingest the hobby, you know?
Yeah, it's something that you do for fun. Like it was more of a like, haha, you should do Twitch again. But I completely get that. It's like you want to do it
Right,
on your own time, you know?
but you're also right. I should do it again on Fortnite or something harmless, you know? That
Yeah,
would be
just
fun.
have a little fun, you know? Yeah, well, I thank you all.
Awesome.
Yeah, I loved the listening party, loved the album. I'm not going
Thanks
to
so
ask when
much.
the next one is coming, but I am patiently waiting for anything that drops ever. So,
We'll see you in 2035. Thank you so
yep,
much.
awesome. All right, see ya.
Bye.
Right.
All right, last question. Last question. Okay, Ray is in the chat and says, I have one singular question. That sounds good to me. Please welcome to the stage, Ray. Ray?
Hi! Oh, this is crazy. Really enjoyed the listening party. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, awesome. I was wondering, I saw an interview with you guys from quite a few years ago where you were talking about cleanse, and I think, Daniel, you had mentioned that with possession, you had felt like you had finally sort of achieved the sound that you guys had been chasing through your previous records, and that influenced you guys to sort of make a bigger departure than your typical sound on Cleanse. And
Mhm.
I was wondering if you guys still maintain that same belief about possession, sort of being that peak sort of sound, and if that is still influencing the creative direction that you guys take.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know. It is like, I guess the new record it's probably not as all over as Possession, and definitely not as all over as the first one. But right, Cleanse I view as like very cohesive versus like,
Yeah.
you have Like a Kennedy and Who Owns Who on the same record on Possession, which is like wild all over. So it's more volatile than Cleanse, but probably not as volatile as Possession. But it's fun because I think um like Possession and How Do You Feel Now to me have like really great fun songs, but it's like a collection of songs more than
Yeah.
like a front to back album with a flow. Whereas like Cleanse, I think, is an album with a front to back flow, and Permanent Pleasure, I think, is also an album with a front to back flow, but bringing back some of the variants of records 1 and 3. So maybe it's somewhere. I don't know. I always try to like uh, think about our music. So if someone asks me, well, what's the new music like, or how's this thing like? It's funny because I always go to like, well, imagine it's like Destruction plus Half Your Age, or something, or it's like
Hmm.
Every Window's a Mirror plus, like, I'll try to describe things in our environment. But I guess with the new one, like, I didn't really think about it at any point about like trying to put it into that world. Like, I think Brain Damage probably harkens back to like Destruction or Fear, or some
Yeah.
of the more like chromatic leaning Joywave songs. But other than that, I think most of it is like pretty forward looking. Maybe Swimming in the Glow is like deliberately like um reaching back to pull something out of the tackle box. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I loved the new record. I think you guys absolutely killed it. I like you were saying, I love the way that it flows. It like flies by, honestly. It's such a fun time. Uh, thank you for answering my question. I'll be seeing you guys for the first time in the fall. I've been listening to you guys for years, so I'm really excited.
Wow, amazing. Well, that's great. We'll see you there. We're excited to play the songs live. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Bye. All right, you
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That's it. That's the end.
It's been almost
Thank
2
you guys
hours.
so much. Yeah, 2 hours? What did the Spotify people say? They said these last for half hour or something like that. And then we
Yeah.
broke
No,
the record.
this has been great.
We smashed the record. Thank you to the Spotify people for inviting us to do this, because they knew exactly who to send invites to and all that with the data and all that. So thank you to them for setting this up. This was really fun. It's great talking to you guys. Hopefully we will see you on the tour. There's a short film coming. Permanent Pleasure is out now. Check out the vinyl. Love yous. Thanks for caring about our band. We'll see you guys out there. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.